Sorry, I got carried away there. Just a momentary thing where I forgot for a moment there that it's wait a minute. I don't like doing it that way. Let's do this. And we do this. Then we do this. And we say, it's Tuesday. The day that time forgot. Although some of us may remember. Yes, indeed. See, you make the guitar do that vibrato thing? Yeah. And all you got to do is be convulsive. How's everybody doing? Ready for a break? I'm ready for a break. I'm wearing double comfort shirt, 2 layers of comfort shirt tonight. 2 layers. Why? No reason. Just, yippee skipping down the bunny trail, walking along, singing a song. Yeah. Welcome to the treehouse, one and all. Now the sun's staring in through the windows, and he's circling the house as he goes. And he's not trying to make any trouble, he's just doing his job, I suppose. And pain like a 3 a.m. phone call, the doctor say it's all in your head. And pain like a road map of Paris, with Quasimodo hiding under the bed. And it's the same sad story, with the same dead end. And if we don't want things to go down like that, then we'll have to work together again. We'll have to work together. Now the sun's staring in through the windows, and he's circling the house as he goes. And he's not trying to cause a commotion, he's just doing his job, I suppose. And you're waiting to be further disabled by torches and pitchforks and tar, with feathers driven down from Nebraska and chicken shit all over the car. And it's the same sad story with the same bad end. And if we don't want things to go down like that, then we'll have to work together again. We'll have to work together, put our heads together. Circling the house as he goes, and he's not trying to hurt anybody, he's just doing his job, I suppose. And you don't mean to sound so pathetic, but there's serious things to discuss, like how hatred has tainted the water, both outside and inside of us. And it's the same sad story with the same sad end. And if we don't want things to go down like that, then we'll have to work together again. Put our hearts together, remember how to work together. Ooh, up, up, up. And it's the same sad story with the same dead end. And if we don't want things to go down like that, then we'll have to work together again. Put our hands together, remember how to work together. Ooh, up, 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 but I did eat it up, eat it up, eat it up, and then it all turned to the pound, but I don't wanna. Sooty ooty up, why didn't take a top of on a winner, da 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 da, ba da da da, why da da ba 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 da, why da boom 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 ba 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 There you go. Ah, there you go. There you go. There you go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the treehouse. So glad, so exceedingly glad to have some company here tonight. So exceedingly gratitudinous. Gratitudinosity is just floweth forth. Gushing gratitudinosity is what we have. And not only that, we have the hand already coming forth, already swinging into view with notes. I bet she smells good too. Oh yeah. The hand. Okay. Alrighty, well, let's move right on. Oh, right, the note. There's a note. What we got here? Okay, 24 people. That's good. That's good. Chrissy Chesmore in the house. Hey, Chrissy. Welcome. Brent Walker. Brent! It's Barry Farmer's in the house. Yes, sir. Excellent to have you here, sir. Annie and Robert. Landerholm Burke. Bill Willem, Val Sanford, Cindy Clark. Cindy Snyder. Yes, Cindy. See, I lived, Cindy. Holly and Kim. Monica Holverstadt. Oh, man. That is sweet. Thanks, you guys. Thanks. I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to see how well the hand, my hand, that is going to operate tonight. We're going to see that. We're going to give it the big test. We're going to give it the big test. Oh, I see Jeff Steve just checked in. He's always hiding back there in the back with Sally Green. I think Jeff and Sally, we got to watch those two. They're hiding out in the back. They're drinking coffee. They're doing. They're probably sneaking out back smoking cigarettes or something out by the dumpster. Yeah, that's what we used to do back in the day. Yeah. Let's see how this works, folks. You own the morning paper, you own the evening news, you got the company pension fund, Social Security too. The one who writes the speeches, the one who takes the stand, the one who sits in the big chair is under your command. I don't want to walk your dotted line, I don't want to trade your life for mine, I just want to keep on falling behind. You're not the competition, you're not the boy next door. It trickles down to your pockets, son. You don't believe in the poor. You can have all the money and you can ride with the crew, but just remember there's more of us than there are of you. I don't want to walk your dotted line, I don't want to trade your life for mine, I just want to keep on falling behind. Falling behind, yeah, I'll be falling behind. Ba-ba-do-do-do, ba-ba-do-do-do, ba-ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. You got your interdiction, you got your thousand thugs, you wage war on some people, call it a war on drugs. I got an observation, something you can't resist. The stuff you stuff in your mattress with, does it really exist? I don't wanna walk your dotted line, I don't wanna trade your life for mine, I just wanna keep on falling behind. Falling behind, you got me falling behind. I'm happy falling behind, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, well, that was adventures, and living. That's what that was. Adventures in living. Well, it went a little better this afternoon. You know, that's one of those songs where, you know, if the pain thing in the hand is going to be an issue, boy, oh boy, there it goes. There it is. That's when it shows up. That's when it makes itself known. But, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I want to play a lot of stompers tonight. Why do I want to play a lot of stompers tonight? It just seems like a stompy kind of, you know, there ought to be a stompy vibe. Don't you think there ought to be some stompiness? There should be some real stompiness tonight in particular. The hand is stomping in, even as we speak. Need I say more? Whoa. That was an emphatic entrance. Well done. Come back soon, okay? Don't be a stranger now. Oh. More people. Sally Green, who we mentioned, she's hanging out in the back with Jeff Steve, having a smoke. Tamitra is here. Tamitra. Oh! How could I have been such a fool? Oh, that's good, Joe. That's for Cam and Pete. The whole thing kind of started around Cam and Pete. Yeah. Thanks, Ma. It's just a rumor. Thanks, Tamitra. Oh. Ah. And for any and all Methowians, anyone from the valley, I salute you. Lori Trout is in the house. Lori. We'll talk about you later. Well, only in a very kind and gentle and understanding kind of way, right? And I know Lori loves the mullet. She's always been a fan of the mullet. Adam Hunt is in the house. One of the Fab Boys. Adam, he's also a magnificent musician in his own right. Tim and Sherry Vernon from the wilds of western Idaho. Welcome. Let's see. Maybe I can get through this one. What do you think? This is by an old friend of mine. Oh, I ride the crosstown buses down the alleys past the houses where the watchdog watches out for strangers on the loose. I pick an address off the sidewalk, work my way in past the padlock where the hot wire burglar alarm is sucking up the juice. One man's lost, another man's crime. It ain't nothing but a sign of the times. The dirty son of an LA DJ, hot rod racing down the LA freeway. Wrong way down the one-way right-away, right into a crash. They send out for an aid car, come up running with a crowbar, pry him out and work him over so he don't get whiplash. One man's lost, another man's crime. It ain't nothing but a sign of the times. All the low low-down rounders and the dug-in undergrounders hang around with out-of-towners out looking for their chance. Panhandle proposition, play upon your superstition. Sleight of hand, pick the pockets right out of your pants. One man's laws, another man's crime. It ain't nothing but a sign of the times. The street corner preacher, he's an ex-karate teacher, black belt evangelist doing God's almighty will. While all the hardcore sinners eat their pornographic dinners, go to church and bribe the minister with a $50 bill. One man's laws, another man's crime. It ain't nothing but a sign of the times. Old ladies with their nurses carry pistols in their purses to protect them from the children who are out of control. Adolescent alcoholics pickpocket people's wallets to work their way through grade school and make the honor roll. And one man's laws, another man's crime. It ain't nothing but a sign of the times. A country singer from Tacoma says he's born in Oklahoma, learned to ride in Arizona, and he's got the boots to prove it. While all the jukebox groupies, they all knock him for a loop. He thinks he's got to be the greatest, he's got the record sales to prove it. One man's laws, another man's crime. It ain't nothing but a sign of the times. They are confused, and it's enough to make you blow a fuse, and it's enough to make you throw up your hands and say, what's the use? But keep your eyes out on the double. We're headed straight for trouble. This whole wide world, you know, is gonna bust out on the loose. And one man's laws, another man's crime. It ain't nothing but a sign of the times. One man's laws, another man's crime. It ain't nothing but a sign of the times. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how that works. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cat Eggleston. Wow. Charlotte Hubbard's in the house. That means Henry's in the house. Henry! 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 I'm fine, Henry. Not to worry. The old guy's not going to keel over tonight. We hope. But wait. Hearken unto the hand. Did I read the last note? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Oh, wait. Charlotte, Henry, and Stephen. We only see Charlotte, but we have to assume Henry and Stephen are here too. Cat and John. Cat Eggleston, John Dowie. Boy, was that a show last week with Cat Eggleston or what? Ever since then I've been like, how can a precedent has been set, Bill. You're supposed to just go back out there and, do the same old, once Cat Eggleston has been in the treehouse or even nearby from one of our affiliated stations out there on Vashon Island, even that, how can you go back? I know it's been an exhausting week because of that. Yeah. I guess there's other stuff that people are talking about, other stuff. I was worried about how we were going to top the whole cat situation. It's been taking up pretty much all the bandwidth I've got. Mystery beverage does help, though. It's an herbal concoction. Sorry. Just a little out there tonight for some reason. Okay, Bill. Peaceful warrior. No, Bill. Come on, Bill. Get her going. Nope. Okay. Moving on. See, there's that kind of freedom in a treehouse because it's casual. It is still casual, right? We are still allowing that, right? Casual. We're just gonna pretend like that never happened, and okay, all right. Scrape me off of this electric ceiling, push me out into the frozen wood, feel out of place and it's the fool's revealing. Back in the house I got video violence, back in the house I got petroleum food, out here that fool hears an unnatural silence. I think we're all beginning to understand how a dollar is the devil's fist clenched tight on a human hand. What good are all these colors and borders? What did that wall mean anyway? The business suits are up there handing out orders. I see the faces of the children in Asia on the news or some other show. Remember how all that stuff used to faze ya? I think we're all beginning to understand how a dollar is the devil's fist clenched tight on a human hand. I know a lot about emotional baggage. I'm well acquainted with the one who waits. I ask myself, is there a soul left to salvage? But there's a little bed in a little room, a little heart and a little womb, a speck of light inside a King Tut's tomb. I think we're all beginning to understand how a dollar is the devil's fist clenched tight on a human hand. I think we're all beginning to understand how a dollar is the devil's fist clenched tight on a human hand. That's how a dollar is. It's from The Water Dance and Raise Your Heart. Both of them with excellent guitar parts by Mr. Hal Brooks. Yeah. Oh, 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 and oh, oh, and oh, oh, oh. Okay. Alrighty, folks. Alrighty. Oh. Wanted to challenge myself tonight. Are you guys feeling challenged? Is anyone feeling challenged at all? Are we all in a blissful state like Bill Willem? Could be. Maybe I'm the only one. No, I was talking to the hand earlier. She's a little freaked. But no more than everybody, right? I was washing my hands for the 14th time today at the kitchen sink. And I said to the hand, I said, they should have moved Halloween to tonight. You know? For reasons that seemed obvious to me in the moment. I wrote this down 'cause I said I would, but still doesn't fit that you're gone for good. And there's a couple of strange developments I knew you'd want to know. It snowed this year like in '91, but winter chores are left undone as Sue and I, we fill our time with the little one. You follow me as I follow you, and I wish you could tell me what to do so I could think before I ignored you. Yeah, she'll be 2 in a couple weeks, all fiery eyes and flowery cheeks, and she's turned me into someone else who I remember well. We're all children here inside this skin, still treated like it's a mortal sin, and mortality's the truth, alright. And what a way to go. You follow me as I follow you, and I wish you could tell me what to do so I could think before I ignored you. You follow me as I follow you, I wish you could tell me what to do so I could think before I ignored you. Oh, that's ragged. That's ragged, yes. Sorry, folks. Sorry, folks. But you know, I can't think of a finer remedy for old raggedy-ass Bill than Poetry break! Poetry break! Poetry break! Poetry break! Not a moment too soon. Poetry break. Yes. Yes, friends. I bet a few of you were saying, gee, Bill, maybe it's time for a poetry break, Bill. Maybe poetry break. Poetry break. Yeah. Well, let me dig down through all this paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork involved with this show. That's one of the things I never really thought about going in. The paperwork. Crazy. The number of forms you got to fill out, stuff like that. Who knew? Who knew? Sorry about that. Okay, so I got four of mine here, all written in the last 2 weeks. All written since last it was just the two of us. Here, me and the hand. Oh, there's more. There's more. Cool. Great to see you guys. So, I'm not sure about any of these, especially this first one. I'm in this songwriting group, and I love these people. These people are some of the, smartest, most creative people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. I'm talking about Amy Reed, Marjorie Richards, Nancy Reinhold. It's kind of, it's a little intimidating, I must say. But, I'm Mr. Freeform guy. I got 2 layers of comfort on. So I'm Mr. Freeform guy. They want more structure in our songwriting group. They want structure. And I'm like, well, if they want it, we must need it. So I'm like, okay, if I can do it with you guys, I'll do anything. Except maybe, I don't know, riding on a unicycle on a tightrope, something like that. Things of that nature. Dangerous stuff, Evel Knievel type stunts. No, I may be a little past that, actually. So, but I haven't been any of those kinds of suggestions. But they did say we should have more structure. So I was like, okay, you want structure? How about this? How about we all write an ode for our next meeting? I thought, boy, first of all, we'll all have to look up what an ode is. An ode is a type of poem that addresses a specific thing, right? The Keats's famous ode on a Grecian urn. Things of that nature. You address a thing. And I said, why don't we write an ode to our bodies? And then I put it in parentheses at the bottom. I don't think I can do it. That's why I'm suggesting it. And I don't think I can do it. But here's the thing. We meet every 2 weeks. And so I figured, okay, so if we have assignments, and I take the first week to just kind of internalize it. Think about it, think about it every day, but don't try to even go anywhere near it in writing until the second week. And maybe by the second week, it will have sunken in far enough to where it's down there in the subconscious where the stuff percolates and comes leaking out into my notebook first thing in the morning. So that's when I wrote this. I wrote it on, what day was it? Sunday. Samhain, actually. Samhain. Yeah. So it's called Ode to the Body on Samhain. Just bear with me through this one. Ode to the Body on Samhain. Oh, you buzzing limbs, eyes fogged by habit and excess, you middle gone thicker with muscle and gristle, sending back signals as you pass. You hands of confusion, groin of repose, remember your nerves and blood. Call out to your clarity, your tactile poverty, the warm skin that lit you with smoothness and dew. Cloudy recollections there on the far shore with their backs to you. O body of gathering, don't let them go. They're all that connect you to all that you know. O body of thin skin, remember, forgetting is letting the gravedigger win. Ode to the Body on Samhain. Okay, now, I've been reading a lot of Billy Collins and a lot of George Bill Gare. We're going to get to George here in a second when we get to the real poetry. And I don't know why I mentioned that, except that, these three have something about them that remind me. This one's called I Woke Up. This broken world, the one I woke up in, new winter chilling the air, should have foreseen my bloody heels after walking in new shoes without socks. The crows would have warned me, but they weren't up yet, nor the moon, hiding below the horizon to avoid blame. Me and the vivid stars took care of the damage. Now a crow with a slice of French bread in its beak lands on the roof over my head. Breakfast on the terrace. And now the rain, washing this broken world, this morning's broken skin, the one I woke up in. I woke up. Let's go. These are all brand new, so, I'm not expecting, thousands of love bubbles, A couple might be helpful, though. This one's called Exercise Bike. You see, these are taken from Billy Collins always says, start with something concrete. That last one did not. This broken world, well, that's really concrete, I guess. If you're thinking infrastructure. This one's called Exercise Bike, and it's dedicated to MS. My good friend, my shadow. Exercise bike. You pushed the body into an aerobic state, overheated it from the inside out on purpose. At the wallet end of existence, a transaction took place. Only the shadow people know what that feels like. An elite club of lepers who pepper their days with brain pranks and other spices. The needle that noses you into a hole. The slide and choke of your own rope. What follows is a dance of nerves better served with a sedative. A choir of pokes you aren't wired for. A hurt or a help, time hasn't spoken yet. I think I could dedicate an entire book of poetry to my friend MS without actually identifying him or her. Uno más. And then we'll get to some real poetry. This one I kind of like. It's called Cheese. This has nothing to do with the Donald Hall poem called Oh, Cheese. No. Cheese. At the tipping point, the grip of gravity you're sold each day grows thin with endurance until you see through it to the open sky below, and that's pretty damn disorienting. You washed your hands until they cracked. Now surgeons are getting paid to be janitors in the hallway of your mind, which is painted with lead-based nostalgia, and that's pretty damn disorienting. Bells remind you it's time to calm down. Who died and made them gurus? You search for enlightenment on a dozen different apps. The cheese looks more like plastic, and the plastic looks more like cheese, and that's pretty damn disorienting. Cheese. Okay, Bill, I hope you brought your copy. George Bill Gare. Now, I learned about George Bill Gare on the Billy Collins poetry broadcast. And if I was to say to these people, if you don't own a lot of poetry books, maybe you've got a couple of anthologies somewhere on a bottom shelf or something like that, but individual poets, you haven't really invested that far. Well, I would encourage you, if you were going to buy one book, buy Blood Pages by George Bill Gare, just because it's really good stuff, and it's, you dive right into it. It's right there. So I'm going to read some of these, okay? And Bill just got this book today, so I'm hoping that he's going to be reading along. Maybe I should have him call up, and maybe he could read one. This one's called Living Will. It's on page 7, Bill. Living Will. When the doctor called at 3 a.m. to tell me that only a ventilator could keep my mother alive at that point, I stood shivering in the dark kitchen, thinking about that word, ventilator. I envisioned a dark shaft of some sort in an old office building from the 50s when my mother was a young woman. Then I imagined being in that shaft, somehow hidden away behind a grill while an important meeting was going on in a paneled room full of big shots, scribbling things on yellow legal pads. Millions of dollars were at stake. Someone's career, maybe even their life, depended on what the important men did or said. But I was hidden in the ventilator shaft, safely out of bounds. I wanted to stay inside that word for as long as I could. Its syllables like 4 rooms I could buy some time exploring. But it was so cold in the dark kitchen, and the doctor was waiting. This one's called Beautiful Country, page 18, Bill. Beautiful Country. When Dave calls from California to tell me his girlfriend is pregnant, it was an accident, but she wants to keep it anyway, although Dave's not so sure. He has his doubts. In fact, when he really thinks about it, not in this lifetime nor in any foreseeable lifetime does he see himself actually becoming a dad. I realize the two of them are about to embark upon a long and dangerous pilgrimage through a wilderness called confusion, across a desert called pain, and down a rocky valley called couples counseling. Couples counseling. They're x-raying their relationship like a couple of art collectors, trying to figure out if the Rembrandt they bought last month is a fake. They're giving their love the 3rd degree under a hot and blinding light, and by God, they better get some answers. Meanwhile, every day, that tongueless little sachet of cells is finding more and more articulate ways of saying, "What about me?" But I'm just strolling in my garden with a glass of cold white wine, watching the daisies wave their yellow flags from that beautiful country called Not My Problem. Some of these you're not sure how to feel about, but they are evocative and, on some level, accurate. This guy's good. I like him. This one, baby. This one's called Push. Page 24, Bill. Push. I'm trying to look as if I'm suffering. I have this anguished expression on my face, but it's wasted since I'm wearing a surgical mask. And anyway, the focus here is really on my wife. And the doctor is right there between her legs, and he's shouting, "Push!" And my wife is doing this astounding thing. She's pushing yet another human being into the world, a world that so far seems to be pushing back. And the baby's heartbeat is down to 90. So the doc says, "I think maybe one more try, then we do the cesarean." So things in the room really are a bit tense. It's definitely a moment that demands a lot of attention, and my wife is gathering whatever shreds of strength remain in the shaking, exhausted sleeve of flesh her body has become. Blood and sweat and fluids everywhere, and this is it, when I hear the attending nurse standing just behind me, saying to this guy in scrubs standing next to her, I think he's the anesthesiologist's assistant, "Well, just because Karen says she has a boyfriend doesn't necessarily mean she won't go out with you." And the guy says, his voice rising because my wife really is screaming quite loudly at this point, "Yeah, okay, I guess I could give it a try. I mean, what's the worst that could happen other than getting shot down and looking like a total fool?" And the nurse says, as the doctor is shouting, "Push!" "Yeah, but hasn't it been like a long dry spell for you? Aren't you getting a little desperate here?" And the guy laughs, and my wife screams again, and the doctor says, "Yes!" And into the world comes the bloody head, followed by the naked, lovely, bloody little boy, insanely ill-prepared for any of this. And I guess the guy actually is going to ask Karen out, and I say go for it. I didn't read that very well, I'm sorry. But you'll be getting the book, so you can read it to yourself. Read it aloud into the room, because one of the things that makes George Bilger so appealing
is that he reads. He reads off the page in just such a fluid way, unless you're a geezer like me and you can't quite make it work because nothing seems to be working tonight very well. I don't know why. I can't imagine. But 2 layers of comfort. This one's called Schwinn. All the way over on page 54, Bill. Schwinn. I got 2 more of these. One day my mother astonished me by getting astride my bike, the heavy old balloon-tired Schwinn I used for my afternoon paper route, and pedaling away down the street, skirt flying, hair blown back, a girl again in wind and speed that had nothing to do with pulling double shifts at the hospital or cooking meatloaf or sewing up my jeans. The old bike carrying her away from my father dead of booze and her own nightly bottle of red wine in front of the news. She flew down the road so far I could barely see her, then slowly pedaled back to me and stepped off the bike. My mom again. I had a mom like that. I have a mom like that. Excuse me. I don't know if she'd jump on a bike now, but I don't know. Maybe we all have moms like that, huh? Okay, I'll finish with this one, which I love dearly. It's page 33, Bill. It's called Making Love in Silence. Making love in silence is an absurd thing to do, but we finally got both boys down for a nap at the same time, in the same room, a miracle worth taking advantage of. And the walls of the summer cottage were negligible. So my wife keeps putting a finger on my lips, and then things shift around, and in a moment I'm putting a finger to her lips, and then we're trying not to laugh while making love, which is also absurd, and the creaky old bed isn't helping either. But now the moment is approaching. It's making its way up from the lake and the little stretch of dazzling sand. It's flooding huge and unbearable through the windows, and we stare, silent and amazed, at each other, like the astronomer in the Keats poem, seeing the new planet swim into his ken. An hour later, we're all down on the beach, kicking a soccer ball around, when suddenly my wife laughs and cries out, "Oh, God!" And I laugh and cry out, "Oh, God!" And the boys stare at each other with a wild surmise. George Bilgare. Bilgere. Blood Pages, it's called. I'm getting me some more George Bilgare, I tell you. I'm not going to sit around. I'm not going to sit around wasting time trying to scribble my own crap. I'm just going to get me some more George Bilgare. Now I'm going to keep scribbling my own crap, too. George Bilgare is one of those poets who makes me want to sit down and scribble my own crap. I always think that's a good sign, if I'm reading a writer who makes me want to write. William Stafford is like that. Richard Hugo. Whenever I start reading a Richard Hugo book, I start writing Richard Hugo poems. I start writing longer lines. It's amazing. When I read Eileen Myles, I start writing these narrow little columnar poems. We'll have to get to Eileen Myles sometime. She's tough. She's a tough read for me. But I'm practicing. I'm practicing on a lot of stuff. Yeah. I'm practicing on a lot of songs. I wish I was playing a little better tonight. I'm sorry. It might just be a sign of the times, to coin a phrase. That was a Jim Page song, by the way. Jim Page wrote that. Sign of the times. Shouldn't be walking around. I shouldn't be thinking this way. Poison reservoirs and toxic waste squads. It's such a gray, ugly day. Wish I was over at John's. Always got a joke to tell. Beer in the refrigerator and smoke in the pipe. It's so comfortable going to hell. I remember when we were just kids, we were
reading comic books and watching TV. We were immortal in a limited way, and the bad guys were easy to see. My friends all hate their jobs. None of us can afford to quit. A lot of people waving from the top of the heap, but for most of us this could be it. I don't usually talk like this. I try for rhythm and rhyme. I want to show my folks that I'm really good at something, but in the mirror I just see passing time. I remember when we were just kids, we were smoking cigarettes and staying out late. We were immortal in a limited way, and we loved what we'd learned to hate. Whoa. Yes we did, yes we did. Maybe I should call in sick. Maybe I should call back dead. With all of this anger and these schizoid dreams, it'll take all day to empty my head. Wish I was over at John's. Always got a joke to tell. You know what's over at John's? It's so comfortable flying to hell. I remember when we were just kids, we were reading comic books and watching TV. We were immortal in a limited way, and the bad guys were easy to see. And they never looked like you or me. No, they never looked like John or me. Wish I was over at John's World. Comfort, that's called. Comfort. I thought it went okay. Yeah, I thought it went passably well. And then we're breathing. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Good to know. Good to know. Good to have the breathing as a regular occurrence. Something that we can each and all be proud of, right? Oh, wait. All right. Well, making sure all the pick parts are adhered properly. Okay. He will learn how to compromise. He will grieve his ideals. Tip a glass to the memories and he'll know, and he'll know that what took his sister's life just last July was as casual as breathing is to you and I, and that accidental angels get their wings going off the road and into a ravine. You're alive, and that's enough for me. We're in love, and that's the gravy. Tip a glass to solidity. And I know, and I know that his picture still hangs somewhere in your mind, and that suitcase in the closet is still undefined, and that time and feeling steer toward the mysteries, going off the road into a ravine. He will learn how to compromise. He will grieve his ideals. Tip a glass to the memory. And he'll know, and he'll know that what took his sister's life just last July was as casual as breathing is to you and I, and that accidental angels get their wings going off the road into a ravine. Off the road. That was an old chestnut. Yeah. That was from, what was that from? Lifelike. Lifelike. Val Sanford remembers that one. Yeah, I wrote that song after listening to a bunch of R.E.M. I was listening to New Adventures in Hi-Fi. That was the album. Hey there, kids! Gather round, everybody. Gather round the old ICU 2 TV set. We've got some birthdays to talk about today. Birthdays!
Starting with, this very day, Aaron Corday, up there in Bellingham. Aaron Corday, fabulous, amazing singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, just artesian well of creativity. Aaron Corday having a birthday today, as is Leslie Van Winkle having a birthday today. Happy birthday to both of you. Tomorrow, we got Helen Holt is having a birthday tomorrow. Ashley Michael Caritas is having a birthday tomorrow. Ashley was the video editor and video magician on a little project of mine and my friend Tim Swagger's called Raise Your Heart. The DVD of Raise Your Heart was edited and masterfully magicized. I don't know how do you, what's it? She worked magic on the video edit of that album. So thank you, Ashley, and happy birthday. Susan Weghorst of the famous Egan's Ballard Jam House is also celebrating a birthday tomorrow, as is Doug Robertson. Doug Robertson, not to be confused with his younger brother Ray Robertson, whom is a friend of the show, as you all know, also the hand drummer on the aforementioned Lifelike album and also on the Water Dance. Let's see, on Thursday, I mentioned Lori Trout earlier. Lori's daughter and the mother of Lori's grandchild, Lacey Heiner, is having her birthday on Thursday, okay? On Friday, Sarah St. John is having a birthday, and Teresa Tudry, an old Victory Music, ancient Victory friend of Jim's down in California. I was watching a new song, a new video from Teresa just today. Teresa Tudry is having her birthday on Friday. On Saturday, we have Christopher Mitchell is celebrating his birthday on Saturday. Leslie Wagger, the niece of the aforementioned Lori Trout, yes, is having her birthday on Saturday, as is Tom Ogburn, amazing photographer and graphic artist type. Tom is having his birthday on Saturday as well, as is Megan Sweet Cheeks Gehring, formerly of KOZI Radio back in the time when I was working in radio over in Chelan. Megan Sweet Cheeks Gehring, a new mother of twins and just one of my favorite people on earth. Happy birthday on Saturday to Megan. On Sunday, a friend of my daughter Alice's, Allie Ekman, who now lives, I believe, in Los Angeles, is having her birthday on Sunday, as is Tim McCamey, Victory Music veteran. My first ever Victory Music concert when I got out of college, 1984, was with Tim McCamey and the Ferryboat Musicians. Yes, who were, at that time, were Cat Eggleston and Steve Gouda, the original Ferryboat Musicians. Also on Sunday, we have Molly Ray, another friend of Alice's who lives over in Sun Valley, is doing great work in Sun Valley. Molly, happy birthday on Sunday. Monday, Grant Carroll is having a birthday, and the legendary local singer-songwriter, guitar extraordinary, and one of the deepest, most resonant voices on the planet, Mr. Steve Beck, is having his birthday on Monday. There you have it, your birthdays for the week. Now, if I missed anybody, it's because you're hiding. You're hiding the information. Somebody's got to rat you out so I can wish you a happy birthday. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I do. I hope. All right. I think I might have one more in me. Where are we at? We're at 8:03 by my clock. Standard time. See, that may be one of the reasons I'm a little off my game tonight. The time change really affected me this time more than it usually does. Maybe it's because of COVID. Maybe it's because of other, situations that are happening this week, stuff I was talking about earlier, the thing with the, that whole thing I was talking about. That was so distracting that I've now forgotten what it was. Some stuff is happening. There's stuff happening. I don't know. You probably got your own concerns, things that have got you a little bit more on edge this week. So the time change was just perfect. Yeah, let's make it darker more. Yeah, good idea. Not that the days wouldn't have been getting shorter anyway. But does it really need that much help? Do the seasons really need our help? Let's think about that for a moment. Okay. So I meant tonight to be a little island, a little break, a little oasis. Perhaps the eye of the storm. little calm. I hope it's been a little calm.
Change your way of thinking. Do you know what that means? Raise her without doctors, teaching her what she needs. Raise her with eyesight, color recedes. Everyone is brilliant, what's on the scene? And the years don't improve, but we do. And we can improve what the years do. What the years do. Trace the subjugation that buries a plan to another big business, another white man. Something is made naked in the secrets he shares. Sells the future for dollars, and it's buyer beware. And the years don't improve, but we do. And we can improve what the years do. What the years do. Upon your promise, give it a name. Empty all your baggage and family shame. Empty all your wallets. Write a lot of words on the walls where you're living, in the shade of the birds. And the years don't improve, but we do. And we can improve what the years do. What the years do. And the years don't improve, but we do. And we can improve what the years do. What the years do. What the years do. What the years do.
Well, there you go, folks. Just the best I could do on a Tuesday. A Tuesday. A particular Tuesday. A Tuesday that's got some freight. A freighted, weighted Tuesday. With lots of waiting involved in the weight. The weight is heavy with waiting. Yeah. Who knows what next Tuesday will bring? Let's hope it brings good news for all of us. Everybody who wants good news should get some. Okay? And we'll continue to take care of each other. And we'll continue to be kind and be generous, be humane, just as best we can, day by day. Until then, same bat time, same bat channel next Tuesday. Good night.